Welcome to Yoga by the Lemon Tree. Thank you for joining me today, Tracy. And today we are, as you can see, in the garden. A little bit cloudy, but for me it's the perfect conditions because it's not too hot, not too cold. And we're going to be looking at moving those hips today. Something in midlife that I feel is important because there's so much connection to the hips, to the spine, to the pelvis. So we really need to make sure that our hips are moving freely and we can enjoy pain-free life. So let's continue by coming onto the spine today. Now I'm going to take myself all the way back and we're going to start in bound angle today. Now this is the one where we have the soles of the feet are together. Now if you find this pose a little bit intimidating, sometimes if we've gone too deeply too quickly, you can feel a little bit of tension here. So I quite like to suggest you use blocks under the thighs, you use a cushion under the thighs, just so you feel a little bit more supported here. So once you feel like you've made your adjustments with your legs, I'm then going to take your attention to your spine. So let's just check in. I like to really take my mind to that part of my body and think, does that feel right? How does it feel? Do I need to make any moves? How are the shoulders? Am I clenching in my neck at all? So just checking everything is in, just lifting up the chin a little bit. Feel free to place your head on a cushion if it feels good. And it comes naturally just to take your hands and place them on the ribs here, just so you can feel the body just moving as we breathe. You might be able to hear the church bells. It's that time of day. Just check you're not holding anything in the face either. Sometimes we hold tension in the face when we're in poses, and it's often something we overlook. So it's quite nice just to think, is my face soft? And just trying to focus on the moment. You've got any busyness happening in your mind, just try and let it float right by. And just stay in the moment where we're going to look after ourselves just for the next few minutes. And let's take 5 more cycles of breath here. ready, slowly bring the knees in. I'm going to bring them into the chest now and just take a little rock from side to side. And as you come back into center, just extend the arms out to the side and let those knees come over to the right side. And let's just leave them here for a few breaths. And we're going to go ahead and bring them back into the center and take the knees over to the left. And I'm coming back into center here, and I'm going to cross my feet at my ankles, grab hold of my feet and lift myself up. Now, if this is not available to you yet, we are going to meet in all fours. So I'm going to pull my feet towards me as I lift up, continuing the momentum forward, coming onto all fours. Now, as I like to do, as you know, take hold of my blanket and fold it in half. I've got a little bit of grass on here today, and coming onto all fours here. Little cat and cow, lifting up, tucking in the chin, and lifting up. And coming into neutral here. I'm going to take my right foot and I'm going to bring it up in between my hands here. Nice low lunge happening. Now, if your hands don't quite reach the floor, feel free to have perhaps a couple of books or some blocks just to elevate your body and give you that a little bit more space. Now, from here, we're just going to tuck in those toes. Feel free to stay here. But if you want to elevate this, we're just going to tuck in those toes and just lengthen the back leg, just lifting up here, coming on to the toes. And then releasing the back leg and just changing sides here. We're starting to move the hips here as we just lengthen each leg, either in front. And if you want to tuck in that back leg, lift up and lengthen the other leg. And releasing that back leg and coming back into all fours here. Now I'm going to take my right foot this time. I'm just going to open up my hip a little bit wider. So I'm just going to take it onto the edge of my mat here. And we're in a low lizard here. Now you can start to move back and forth just a little bit here. We're getting some hip mobility on the right side. And now you can stay here, or you can tuck in your back toes and lengthen the back leg here. releasing that back leg. We're still in our low lizard, and I'm going to bring my forearms down this time for an even deeper stretch here. Just a couple of breaths. And lifting all the way back up and bringing that right leg in. Let's change sides over to the left. So the left foot this time, coming onto the outer edge, and I'm just going to start moving back and forth. And if you want to tuck in those back toes, right leg, lengthen it up. And then releasing that leg down. And from here, I'm going to come down just for that last stretch here. And we're coming back into all fours here. I'm going to tuck in my toes as I walk my hands back to my feet. And I'm going to bring my palms together and lift them up to the sky and release them all the way down. I'm going to take my feet hip width apart now. Toes are going to come out to the side. I'm going to take my hands up just like this. And I'm going to bend my knees and bend my elbows in goddess pose here. So we're going to bend them down. Elbows coming down, lifting all the way back up. Let's take one more here. And releasing the hands, just heel toe those feet in. And let's come into a chair pose now. So my feet are hip width apart. And I'm going to inhale and take up my hands. And then relax the glutes all the way back. Imagine I'm sitting in a chair. From here, I'm going to continue all the way down to the ground to a forward fold. Then coming up to halfway lift. And then releasing my body down to the ground here. And I'm going to have my toes touch my knees as wide as the mat as I come into a wide knee child's pose here. As I lengthen out the hands and just let my head rest on the mat here. Feel free to use a cushion or a blanket underneath if yours doesn't quite reach the mat. Or maybe you're looking for that little bit of extra comfort today. Just feeling the hips soften. The lower spine relaxing. And shoulders released. And as I take 2 more cycles of breath here. I'm lifting up my body and finding myself on my glutes, coming in to my cross-legged position here. Feel free to find a seat where you're comfortable. And I'm going to take my hands and place them on my heart center. And just closing my eyes here. I just want to feel this calm and serenity just a little bit longer. I'm going to bring my palms together and bring them into my sternum as I bow my head, and I like to thank my body for moving today. I'm so grateful that it can. Stay well and see you next time. Bye bye.